Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to do a yeast wash. This is the Dead Ringer cologne from Northern Brewer. So what I've done, I've taken the beer out of that and put it in the secondary since there's a dry hop. And I left all the trub in the bottom. Then what I did was I heated up 1 gallon of water, brought it up to a boil for 10 minutes, cooled it down, then put it into this. Then what you want to do, I didn't think you guys would want to watch water boil, that's why I didn't show it. But then what you want to do after you've got the gallon in here is swirl it up and make sure you get everything off the bottom of it. Then once it's done, if you can, you want to lay it on its side. Like that. Then we're going to let this sit for 15 minutes or so, 15 minutes to a half hour. We want the separation. Our yeast and good stuff is going to float on top, then all the bad stuff is going to be on the bottom. The reason we set it on its side is that way when we go to pour it, all our trub that we don't want is going to be on the very bottom and hopefully come out last. So stay tuned. After about 15 minutes I'll check this and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so we let it sit for 15-20 minutes and I'll put a picture up, but we do have 3 different lines now. The bottom line is all the trub. I did put let everything go into here after it was cooled down. So this is all the trub. Then we got the milky. Then we've got a little bit of beer. I'm not too concerned about the beer. So now what we're going to do is try and rack off all the milky stuff and the beer into a 1 gallon carboy that's sanitized, and we're going to let that sit for an hour. Or more, depending on if we need to. Okay. I am getting a little bit more of the trub, but it's fine. So now what we're going to do is let this sit for an hour, hour and a half. We'll see what it looks like. But yeah, we'll just let it sit. Let the same thing happen that happened in here. Then we'll take that top part and put it into mason jars and we should be ready. So, as you'll notice, I've already put the yeast in the jars. I actually kind of forgot about this. We had to run some errands and get some wood for the hot plants, and I totally forgot about it, and by the time I got back, all the settlement and yeast were already all the way at the bottom, so I just shook it up and dumped it in these 3. I'll do a close-up, but you can see they're starting to settle. We've got a tan layer on the bottom, and then a white layer. Then we have a lighter area. So they've been sitting a little bit. I'm going to put them in the fridge, and that's where I'll keep them until they're ready to go. But that's pretty much it. I'm not worried about the trub or whatever's at the bottom of this. I'll make a starter, put it in, it'll be fine. Another thing I want to mention, don't forget that make sure you remember what beer you're taking this from, because this was done or washed from the Dead Ringer clone, which is a hoppy beer. So I do not want to use this on a porter or a stout or an ale because there are hops in here, I should say. So I would say you would want to keep using this on an IPA or something that's very hoppy. It's just like if I did a porter, I wouldn't want to use it on a IPA or a lighter beer or a Kolsch or something like that. So make sure you label them, what they are, when the dates were taken. A lot of people talk about that you shouldn't keep these for more than 3 months. I've never tried to keep them longer than 3 months. I know some people that have had them for a year and made a starter and they work just fine. So you guys will have to play around with that. I will probably play around with that too, keep one of these until next year and just try it. But for the most part, they're done. The lids aren't on very tight, just finger tight. You want some of that air to get out if there's going to be any in there. I would say after a week or two, you can go ahead and tighten them down. That's normally what I do. But hope you like this comment. If you have any questions, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, happy brewing.